All right, everybody, we're in the new shop. We got a bunch of testing going on. We got boats getting built and rebuilt, but today's very exciting because we have what we hope to be the final boat. So this one has all the updates we talked about a month or so ago, all the changes, all the inserts. We got the mounts for in the rear for the 4-bolt pattern, all that stuff. So today we're going to be unboxing this. This is the one we air freighted in. There's a whole container load of them inbound, but we wanted to get this one in first so we could start laying everything out, get all the parts bolted in, mock everything up, make sure everything's fitting right. And then we'll be ready to go when everything shows up here in a few weeks. So we're going to go ahead and get this puppy opened up. There we go. Ready for the big reveal? Oh yeah. New boat, new updates, and the 4th color as well. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, she's pretty.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so new features. Let's talk about the differences. So the first thing you're going to see is there's 2 new scuppers now. There's 2 new scuppers right here in the center that didn't exist on the other one. Why? Because, oh yeah, so much better. This thing is totally rigid now. You've got these 2 extra scuppers in the middle. So we had such a big open deck that having those 2 extra scuppers now really make this thing feel rock solid. That's amazing. I'm really happy with that so far. Back here you can see another very important one. We've added not 1, but 2, because I am obsessed with symmetry. We have 2 sets of 4-bolt patterns for your power poles, for, you know, if you want to put double NKs on there, on top of your jet drive, you know, you have at it, you're good to go now. Oh yeah, way better. Oh yeah, way better. So they came in and we reworked the pockets here for the seat. Was sloppy before. There was a little bit of play in it, so they came and tightened that all up now, so that all fits nice. And they also, tightened up the scuppers a little bit too to make those nice and tight fitting in there. It does include the full scupper set that comes with the boat. I don't know if we ever mentioned that part, but that is part of it. But really happy with that. That feels really super solid now. That's pretty great. This little pocket right here is new. So there's now a little grab handle right there in the jet pocket, so you can grab this thing in the center. There's a whole bunch of new things to talk about. One of them was our first major casualty. The other day we made the executive decision to scrap the seat. So we were scrapping 200 seat frames, unfortunately, but the good news is the seat is going to be much nicer now. The original material was basically just your regular old camp chair. Now you have the much plushier mesh, rubbery type of upgraded material. It's much more comfortable, but the biggest change was the seat bar. So what we ended up realizing was that this front rail bar was just a little too high on the original design. So we've now cut that down. We lowered it 1.5 inches so that this will clear properly. Small change, but it makes a huge difference in the comfort of the boat. Obviously, you know, with the guys we're working with now, they know a lot more than I do about comfort and what it is to sit in a kayak for 20 hours a day. So I defer to them. You know, when they get in the boat and they say it's not right, it's not right, so we got to change it. But in the grand scheme of things that need to be changed, that's a great one. It's an easy thing to change. It didn't affect the boat at all. Yeah, we have to recycle 200 seat frames, but it is what it is. So new material, the new seat frame will be coming standard on all of the original pre-orders all stock that will be coming. Had several comments about the front lights not being to standard. So just to address that, I'll be happy to post the CAD. But the exact cutoff is 112.5 degrees per light for 125 total sweep. And the front lights, that was built into the boat. So that was taken into account for the Coast Guard CFR. That's already built in, already tested. On top of that, we did realize that the original shorty light we built for demonstration was in fact too short. So originally, light mounts right here, would come to about there. We did have to go to a slightly longer light. So that's essentially the new light now. You can see we went a little skinnier. It's a little smaller diameter now, weighs about exactly the same. And then basically if you mount this up at the front of the rail, it comes just about exactly even with the tail of the boat. So overall, really nice part. We spent way too much time engineering this thing. It's got a nice metal base piece on it. You know, the lights are a direct plug-in. Obviously the power outlets we will install, but just makes it really nice, really simple. That's all included with the boat. All right, so another one of those things that you just don't find out until you try was these little guys. This little orange knob right here is a handy feature on the foot steering for this boat. What it is a lock. So if you're gonna paddle, it's nice to have a solid foot brace to put your feet on. So these locks are quite handy because you can lock these in place. The problem we found was that every time we put a new person in the boat, the first thing they would do was hit that button, lock a foot peg, and they end up driving around in circles and looking weird at the boat dock. So one of the things we're going to make a change, we're still going to give you these, but we're going to include them in a bag in the boat. So when it comes, you'll be able to just have your loose foot steering. And if you find that you need these locks, it's pretty easy to install. These guys will just slide back in here. There's a little lock piece that goes in like that. And then there's a little pin that you just press in there and that holds it all together. So take you about 5 minutes if you decide you want them. So far, we haven't had a need for it. But yeah, just one of the things that we're finding as we go along here.
All right, so that's the new boat. It's looking great. Everything's good. All the updates are on track. New boats are in line. They're on their way here. Everything's in good shape as far as that goes. Another big question everyone's had is, why isn't there more content? Where's all our content at? And well, there's a bunch of reasons for that. One is we're super busy, and it's really hard to go out and do testing and to also capture the video while we're trying to do testing. The other reason is we have a bunch of people coming out that want to do reviews on the boat, and we don't want to spoil it, to be honest. So a lot of the video that we're shooting right now of our testing is kind of embargoed until they come out and they do their reviews and that kind of stuff. Then we'll be able to start posting some of those other videos that we've shot. Overall, a lot of progress is being made, but there's just a lot of stuff that has to happen. The last month has been a lot of bureaucracy, to put it simply. There's just been a lot of, oh, well, we've got a new shop, and to get a new shop, you need a lease. To get a lease, you have to have insurance. To get insurance, you have to have an inspection. To get an inspection, you have to make an appointment, and so on and so on and so on. You know, and with hiring new people, now you have to have a payroll system. You have to have workman's comp insurance set up before you can get your payroll system in place. Oh, and guess what? You need to have a CPA to make sure all your taxes are in line. All of that back-end stuff that has to happen before we can do any work is very time consuming. I mean, obviously what we're doing is very hard and we're executing this thing at a very high level, but it's just been tough trying to get content out in the middle of all of the other stuff going on. So thank you for your patience. We really do appreciate it. There is a lot of stuff coming. You know, and part of it too is we're just trying to not create too much hype too early. I mean, obviously everyone got very excited about this thing, and you know, we don't want people to you know, get overwhelmed with it. We let the hype die down a little bit, really focus on the product is where we're at. We really want to make sure at the end of the day, all that actually matters is that we deliver the best possible product we can build, and that's where we're focused on. So again, thank you everybody out there with a pre-order, especially thank you for your patience. We definitely understand, you know, content, you know, and communication is really super important, and we are dedicated to making sure that we continue to do that. The last month or so has just been very, very challenging getting everything in place and getting ready for not only building the boat, but to scale the boat and to be able to produce the boat at volume is a whole other level of stuff. So thank you again for your patience. Lots more to come, but yeah, it's getting exciting, guys. Thanks. Talk to you soon.